Hello everyone and welcome back in to Miami Ice Arena for another rendition of Miami Hurricanes Club Hockey right here on the University of Miami Club Hockey Network. I'm Connor Stein calling all the action for you tonight. A matchup similar to last night. The Moccasins of Florida Southern coming in to take on the University of Miami Hurricanes. Last night these two teams took on each other and it was a big win for the Hurricanes, a 9-3 win with 6 different Hurricanes getting goals on the board. For Florida Southern, their 3 came from Preston Miller, John Burkhart, and Colton Wyden. They got to do a little bit more than that today, and we'll see how this one turns out as well. The starting lineups tonight, Miami. The wings will be Diagardi, Astulin, and Ferratino. Defenseman pair will be Evan Zadakis and Max Phillips. And for Florida Southern, it'll be John Burkhart, Hunter Rice, Michael Izzo, Thomas Carball, and John Burkhart to round things out. Miami going right to left on your screen in all white with their green pants. Florida Southern in their red tarps and their baby blue shells going left to right. Max Phillips steps over the blue line. Astulin will wrap the net. Astulin had a hat trick last night for these Hurricanes. One of the 6 Hurricanes with goals. Ferratino, who had a pair last night as well, will stop at the blue line. Now over to Phillips at the top of the circle. Whisks one wide over the shoulder of Fisher. Fisher did not start the game last night. That was Simeon that got the start for the Mocs. But Fisher, with a great third period that he had, only allowing 1 goal, comes in for this start as Phillips couldn't get a handle of the puck. Coming off the bench is Kagan, who fires it wide. Ferratino now near circle. Now it's up top to Phillips. Ferratino able to keep it in play, and the puck is turned over. Colton Wyden, the player taking it out. Rice fires, and a good save and covered by Hausman. Max Hausman starting the game once again for these Hurricanes. Got the start last night, got the win as well. He's got those nice pads with the U split in the middle. I gotta say I'm a big fan of those with the palm trees and all. As Ray Owens picks that one out of the zone. It's across to Kyle McGuire, who dumps, and the Hurricanes will chase. Puck played ahead by a pair of red jerseys as Williams will collect it behind the goaltender net. Ray Owens able to collect the puck in the far corner. Callahan. Puck kept in momentarily, but eventually pushed out. Now back at center ice, it's Turlick, a potential 2-on-1. Turlick's got Callahan to his left. Turlick waits, he loses a handle of the puck, and can't get a shot on net. A good opportunity wasted for Miami. Is a one-timer opportunity for Callahan. Whistles wide. And now it's the Mocs that'll retreat and make one change. McGuire trying to catch the Mocs in the change. Turlick dumps it back to Ray Owens. Ray Owens with space, makes a good move, tries to split the 2 defenders, and a good save that time by Fisher. So it'll be an offensive zone draw for Miami in the near circle. A distant stride from Castrocani is blockered aside by Fisher. Ryan Way plays with the puck, tries to dish it to Goldman, but it eventually goes back to neutral ice, and the Mocs will recuperate in their own ends. Hurricanes go chasing after it. Hurricanes had a goal just a minute into the game off the stick of Jack Ferratino last night. But a different start tonight, you could say. It definitely seems like both teams have warmed up to each other, and Miami, though, still with doing a great job with the puck possession. As good job by Jack Jusko. Give it to Morin, who takes a shove, and sticking it away is Fisher. And Rice, with this moccasin top line, comes across the blue line. Izzo waits. He's got Wyden up above the circle. A try from above the circle is blocked by a Hurricane, and here comes Ryan Way. Hurricanes get forced offside. And with 15:58 to go here in the first, we're still scoreless. We thank you so much for tuning in to this rendition of the University of Miami Hockey right here on the University of Miami Hockey Network. Feel free to type some comments in the comment box. Let us know. As Miami wins it back, but it's taken ahead by Izzo. Rice tries to play the puck. It's Wyden who turns the puck over, and Brandenstein, who did not play last night, tries to spring it ahead. Couple Hurricanes playing some of their first minutes tonight. It's Owen Gupta, number 15, as well, getting his first looks as he goes across to Brandenstein on this new created line. Brandenstein takes a shot, whistles over the shoulder of Fisher. And now Wyden will make a good move against Brandenstein and go to neutral ice. And Zaldi tried to lay a hit on Wyden, another Hurricane that got in their first look as a tricky play right in front of the goaltender, and it's going to be a penalty coming up here. Looks like it's going to be Hunter Rice heading to the box. It's going to be a trip on Hunter Rice. The sophomore from Hicksville, New York, will sit for a 2-minute minor. So the Hurricanes with an early opportunity on the man advantage to make some offense happen here this afternoon. Puck turned over by Zidakis, and falling over is Williams, and they're going to get Zidakis for a trip there as well. The senior from Chicago, Illinois, will go to the box just 7 seconds into the Miami power play. So right when Miami thought they had an opportunity on the man advantage, it's Florida Southern that will make it 4-on-4, and then they'll have, if everything stays, they'll have 7 seconds of power play time towards the end. So now we're at 4-on-4 hockey with just under 15 minutes remaining here in the first period. McGuire finds Remy Kagan, who is able to find a Stulin. Stulin mishandles the puck, and Dubois will play with it. Catazone rings it around the boards. And Kyle McGuire will play it behind his net. And an attempted stretch pass to Stulin is disrupted by Catazone. And the Mocs will play it up ahead, but it's disrupted by Remy Kagan. Remy Kagan tries to find a Stulin in the slot, but Wyden comes out. Wyden tries to get around McGuire, the defenseman. He does so momentarily, and it's covered up by Hausman. But he's able to play it ahead, and McGuire will try to set things up in the defensive end of the Hurricanes. Here comes Raymond Owens, who passes to a Stulin. A Stulin on the backhand, he scores! Owens to Astulin, his fourth of the weekends. And Miami takes a 1-0 lead here with 13:43 to go in the first period. It was a good job by Miami. They were trying to get that stretch pass going. The whole 4-on-4, they were able to do it successfully. And then Raymond Owens just uses speed, get around the defenseman in the neutral zone. Uses his speed, goes far side, and then finds Astulin all alone. And if you're Florida Southern defensively, you got to find a way to eliminate Elliot Astulin, who earns his 22nd of the year right there. Just having a great year. Had a great year last year as well. As the officials try to sort things out with the scorers table. This is familiar territory for Miami. They led all of last game. Now the Mocs have got to regroup as we'll get set to go again at the U. And we'll get set to go again. Still be 4-on-4 hockey for another 40 seconds. But the Hurricanes able to get one on the board as Matt Callahan gets around the defenseman. Matt Callahan loads, fires, and it's a great pad save and another shot put on by Castracani. Here come the Mocs on the attack. Izzo in the far corner. Tries to get it up ahead. Callahan tried to jumpstart an outbreak, but finally the Hurricanes get out of their own ends. 5 seconds remaining as that one trickles wide. A good save by Fisher. Now it's going to be 5-on-4 for about 2 seconds. Doesn't feel like it though as Callahan loads up. A good blocker save by Fisher. So we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Castracani takes a tumble, and the Hurricanes doing a great job on the forecheck. The Mocs seem like they had possession here for a little bit, but it's been Ryan Way and company putting the pressure on. That shot too high above the crossbar. And now here comes Izzo, who gets that puck taken away by Goldman, one of the newcomers. But he turns the puck over. Rice, one-on-one in. And he can't get a shot put on net. No trip called. Another attempt put on off the post. Izzo tries to find the puck as well on the doorstep, and he can't finish it either. Some bang-bang offense for the Mocs as the Hurricanes able to outstretch it ahead. It's a 3-on-1. Just go inside the way, who couldn't finish on the backhands. And man, Miami, more of what we saw yesterday, establishing the offense in the defensive zone of the Mocs. But there's a turnover. Here comes Rice. Rice takes a shot, and it's gobbled up that time by Hausman. It's a back and forth hockey. Both these teams, you can tell, have adjusted well. It's 1-0 here in the first period of play. Wyden able to beat the defender. Shoots it too high. And now here comes Jusko past the red line. Jusko able to find Way, who does a little nifty backhanded shot. But Wyden comes away with it. Wyden gets around Morin. Trying to beat Kagan on the near side. And we'll get a delayed penalty here. It's going to be a cross check. See who they send to the box. Both these teams, though, struggling on special teams so far, both taking penalties. as it's going to be Remy Kagan who heads to the box. Remy Kagan, the sophomore from Winewood, Pennsylvania. He's got 5 assists, no goals so far this year. But he'll sit for a 2-minute cross check, and the Hurricanes are forced to go back on the penalty kill. And this is where Florida Southern strived last night. They went 2 for 3 on the power play. Takes it off the stick of Wyden and Burkhart. As Rice comes over center ice, but having a tough time with the zone entry is Florida Southern, and trying to catch them lacking is Miami with Eliana Stulin. Eliana Stulin, who already has a goal tonight, this afternoon I should say, able to just play the puck back in Miami with great possession here on the power play. A turnover right in. Oh, and a great blocker save by Fisher. Eliana Stulin doing a great job of the penalty kill here, causing mayhem in front of the net. A shot put on by Florida Southern. It's gloved down by Hausman, and Hausman has some feelings for that as he got a little bit of a shove by Izzo after the whistle. So with 9:46 remaining here in the first, 48 seconds remaining on the cross-checking minor to Remy Kagan. Hurricanes will set up in their defensive zone. It'll be Williams against Turlick. Puck played with by Dubois. Dubois can't quite keep it in the zone as Raymond Owens tried to pick it ahead. Dubois comes in wide, but gets pickpocketed by Kyle McGuire, and the Hurricanes cleared down the zone. That's Cole Dubois. Nicholson gets a soft shot put on net, but no real substance as the penalty will expire on Remy Kagan. So a great penalty kill for Miami, as no harm done to the Hurricanes. They still remain with a 1-0 lead. Hurricanes going to make a defensive change. Sudeikis tries to get through traffic. He does so successfully, and here comes the 3-on-1. Raymond Owens over to Callahan. He scores! Matt Callahan. That's another tally on the board for the Hurricanes. It's 2-0 here with 8:33 remaining here in the first. Matt Callahan getting his 6th goal of the season, the junior forward. Getting it done there, and now it's 2-0 Hurricanes. And quickly, Florida Southern finding themselves in a similar situation to where they were before, which is trailing by multiple goals. As once again, they have a tough time getting out of their own ends. Callahan gets another shot on, the one sent blocker side wide. And Sudeikis will play it up ahead. Callahan with the hot stick now comes around the net. He circles around these defensemen of the Mocs. He's somehow able to get a shot on the loose change, is flared out, and Sudeikis will retreat as the tired Moccasins will head off the ice. Miami will also make a change as well. Now it's Staples who takes a hard hit by Izzo, but now it's Bredenstein who tries to get a backhand shot. It's denied. And now that puck sent down the length of the ice for an icing. And if you're Florida Southern, obviously not the weekend that you've wanted whatsoever. So they thought, hey, maybe we'll throw in Fisher, see if things change after Simeone got the start last night. But so far, a similar start for the Hurricanes. Last night they were leading 5-0 after the first period. So far it's been a better start from the Mocs, but they still got to find a better way to get things going offensively. And that starts right here with the outlet passes out of the zone. Izzo tries to find Rice, but that pass is too strong. As Gupta tries to play the puck, it's going to be a delayed penalty coming up here on the Mocs. Dropping it back is Brandenstein. Brandenstein puts it on, and it's gobbled up again by Fisher, and it's going to be a roughing call on Florida Southern. They're going to get Hunter Rice in the box. So now a chance for Miami back on the power play when they had one just moments ago. It was very short-lived, about 7 seconds in. Zedeikis got a trip, so we'll see if Miami can have a long, substantial power play as that one, as I say, announcer's jinx, gets cleared out. Ferratino, who had a pair of goals last night, pulls on the brakes at the blue line, drops it to Owens. Owens got the assist on the goal to a Stulin in the early part of the first period. Back down low to Elian Stulin. Back up top to the blue line for Zedeikis. Now it's back to Ferratino. Ferratino far side. Ferratino able to chip it ahead. Down to Zedeikis, who couldn't find Elian Stulin. 50 seconds shaved off here in the first power play as Ferratino tries to get a shot put on. The second attempt by Stulin was denied. And that puck gets sent the length of the ice. Top line of this power play unit staying on the ice as Hurricanes try to get something going. Ray Owens get it down low to Elian Stulin, and Burkhart does a good job by the Mocs of clearing it down the ice again. So 35 seconds remain on the power play for Miami. And here comes Jack Jusko. Jusko circles. Jusko will dish it to the blue line with Remy Kagan. He tries to fire it through traffic. It's blocked by Izzo in front. And then a pass that wasn't strong enough by Jack Jusko. And Izzo able to clear it out. And that'll just about do it for the power play. Maybe one more chance. The Hurricanes hurry. But that'll do it. So a good penalty kill that time by the Mocs. As Williams will backhand it to a Hurricane, and it gets sent down the Hurricanes' offensive zone. Rafael Morin finds Inzaldi, the natural defenseman, playing out of position here as a hand pass is called. .418 remains here in the first period. 2-0 Hurricanes. If you're just joining us, you're watching Miami Hurricanes Club Hockey right here on the University of Miami Club Hockey Network. It was Elian Stulin who opened up the scoring for the Hurricanes. There's a good shot by Castrocani, saved by Fisher. Now it's another try from Castricani from distance. Once again saved by Fisher. So 2 quick shots by the Hurricanes. And that puck won back by the Mocs, eventually sent into the Hurricanes' defensive zone. And now the Hurricanes will play it. And Zaldi has a tough time with that puck, able to dump it low. And Fisher will play it behind his net. And Zaldi turns it over, and a good pad save, that time by Fisher. Now it's Goldman. Tries to lace it ahead. Goldman. The defenseman steps up, and a good stick save by Fisher. Puck off the glass and out. Castricani will collect it as the Mocs make a wholesale change. Goldman misfires with Ryan Way, gets sent all the way down for an icing. First icing on the Hurricanes of the game. And they're going to force Goldman to go back on the ice because of the icing. We mentioned both these teams, Miami improving their record to 4-9, 3-1 last night, and Florida Southern sitting at 9-10 in the ACHA College Hockey South Conference. Both these teams just trying to fight for any kind of playoff hopes that may exist, but it's definitely going to be tough. As both these teams in their first season in the ACHA, very familiar opponents when they played in the AAU against each other as well. But now, obviously with the realignment and everything of that sort, they find themselves again just in a different governing body as Wyden will clear it out. Send it to the far corner. And puck is now up ahead to Stulin. Stulin puts on the brakes. Ferratino collected. Eliana Stulin and Matt Callahan, the 2 goal scorers tonight, as Wyden tries to add to that. And he misses it shoulder wide. Another shot put on, blocker to side. And Miami does a good job defensively getting out of their own ends. And there's a trip in open ice. No arms are up. Wow, I thought that was pretty blatant, but they play on. 1:47 remains now in the first period. Now it's Matt Callahan. Comes over the blue line. Tries to find someone in front of the net. No one was home as the Stulin was getting boxed out. It's going to go down the ice for an icing. So they will reset in the O-zone of the Hurricanes. Raphael Morin loses that draw to Rice. And Rice trying to kickstart something on offense, but none of the Mocs really on the same page, and that causes a tip pass to go down the ice. Dubois able to find the puck behind the net. He tries to wrap it around, and a good job being aware. Another pad save. And now it's Remy Kagan behind the net. Osmond's done a great job tonight stopping anything that's gone to him as he enters the zone. Remy Kagan tries to fight things through contact. And Rice eventually comes away with it. And a potential one last rush as we have 30 seconds remaining here in the first. Rice takes a big blow from Turlick. A shot put on by Miller, and a good save by Hausman. And another rush with 20 seconds remaining here for the Hurricanes. Morin tried to get it across to Turlick, but a good defensive play by the defense of Florida Southern. But here comes Callahan across to Turlick, who has a try. Oh, and a good pad save by Fisher. Under 5 seconds remain. And that'll do it for the first period of action between the Mocs and the Hurricanes. Your score after one, 2-0 in favor of Miami off the stick of Eliana Stulin and Matt Callahan. So that will be it for the first period of action. We'll be back for the second period after this short break. Hello folks, we're back here for the second period of action. We apologize for some of those technical difficulties as we get back set for the second period of play. Your score currently 2-0 Miami after one period of play. Matt Callahan and Elliot Astuin, the two goal scorers for Miami this afternoon. And quick back in the O-zone for Florida Southern is Colton Wyden. Now over the blue line as Wyden puts a shot on, and it's blocked aside and sent out of the zone by the Hurricanes. But aggressive offense so far for Miami. As we'll get another draw right outside the blue line of Miami. Just about a minute shaved off here in the first. Kyle McGuire will play it behind his net. And it's knocked off a stick and icing is waved off. Matt Callahan can't quite retrieve that. Callahan down to McGuire with Raymond Owens. Raymond Owens assisting on that opening goal to Elliot Astuin. Comes past the blue line. Remy Kagan tries to get it to Callahan, but it's turned over. And play is blown dead because of the open penalty box door. So play will resume, I assume, at neutral ice where the puck last was. Jack Jesko will take on Okun, who loses that draw, but eventually finds its way to Goldman. Goldman able to outlet the pass to Jesko, but Ryan Way couldn't find the puck. Now he does. Now it's Castricani to Ryan Way. Way, near side. Drops it to Jesko, but Jesko couldn't corral it, and it ends up back at the orange part of the U. Puck is now into the zone. And Florida Southern will collect it. Okun tries to get it through. And Ryan Way ends up finding the puck. Then Miller takes it back for Florida Southern. Castricani steps up defensively and is able to cause an outbreak. Here comes Morin. Morin to Jesko, he scores! Jack Jesko, the transfer from Tennessee from about a year ago, puts another one on the board for the Hurricanes. It's 3-0 with 16:40 remaining here in the second period. That was Jesko's second goal of the weekend. The Laurel Hollow, New York native, puts the Hurricanes up by 3, and we will resume play. Here comes Wyden. Wyden shoots and misses it wide. And now here comes Owen Gupta. Gupta has Staples, tries to find him, but it's defended well by the Mocs defense. Now it's Inzaldi who tries to play the puck, and Zidakis will play it. Look at a little chip by Staples. Gupta puts the shot on, and it's saved by Fisher. So Miami leaving off where they were back in the first period, putting on another goal. And all three of the goal scorers today had a goal last night as well. Jusko, Astulin, and Matt Callahan as well, all adding to their goal totals for the year. And if you're Florida Southern, things got to change quickly, and it can right here with Wyden, who sends one. It's deflected off the stick of Hausman. Miami goes to make a change as things get set up in the O zone of Florida Southern. Wyden, the far circle, loses the puck. And outbreaking now is Elian Astulin with Ferratino and company. Ferratino takes a shot, and it whistles wide. And now Wyden back with the counterattack. Comes in, takes a shot. A good job by Hausman, shrugging his shoulders and making a save. Now the puck goes out. Elian Astulin will try to get to the puck first. He does so successfully. Playing it is Fisher. Ferratino applies to play it off the boards. He does so. Coming to help is Diagardi for Miami. Izzo in the mix as well. And Diagardi comes out. He tries to find Elian Astulin, who's waiting on the doorstep. Shot from distance from Castricani that's off a body. And now up ahead, Wyden couldn't connect with the stretch pass. And Ferratino will give the tip. He'll get sent down the ice. Turlik will retrieve. He's playing with Rice, who gives him a shrug. In the slot, it's Ferratino off the stick of Astulin, and a good opportunity, a even better save by Fisher. Another try put on. The stop line of Miami has really taken a toll on the Mocs, as a shot by Castricani is gloved by Fisher. But this is a line for Miami that's done a good job offensively the whole series long. Ferratino obviously with a pair of goals. Elian Astulin with 4 goals on the weekends. It's definitely a line that's had their way with the Mocs as the shot gets put on. Raymond Owens, who's really done a good job finding those players for Miami with passes. And to play the puck, he finds it back at neutral ice. Now it's Turlik back to Owens, who couldn't find that pass. Now in the near corner. At the top, it's Castricani who finds Owens. Owens fires. Glove side wide. Another one put on off of Florida Southern moccasin. Kept in by Raymond Owens. So Owens, that puck ricocheted off of Burkhart. Now behind the net, it's Ray Owens. Ray Owens threatened with the backhands, and the net gets knocked off. So the officials will go by Fisher and try to sort things out as Miami makes a couple changes, puts their third line on the ice. It'll be Williams and Jusko in the near circle dot. Officials still clarifying with Fisher on what exactly the issue may be. As will reset. Phillips loses it at the blue line, and here comes Williams. Williams has widened trailing, and that shot just completely missed the net. And now here comes Miami, a potential 3-on-1. Jusko, back to Morin, over to Way, over back to Ryan Way, he scores! A little tic-tac-toe action for the Hurricanes. Leading the line is Rafael Morin. And the Hurricanes take a 4-0 lead with just under 13 minutes to go here in the second. And now it's Ferratino who puts a big hit on Brennenstein. Coming across the line is Rice, who puts a shot on, shrugged aside. And now here comes, Gupta. Gupta shoots, scores! What a nasty goal bar down. And Miami really pouring it on here. It's 5-0 Hurricanes. So Miami quickly extends their lead. Up to 5-0. And man, if you're Florida Southern, it got from really manageable coming into this period only down 2. And now, within 8 minutes, Miami extends their lead up to 5. Now it's Remy Kagan who tries to keep it in the zone. Can't do so, and it eventually gets dumped down. And if you're Florida Southern, it's slowing things down, really haven't got anything going offensively, and defensively they've been lacking as well. Miami's, even their fourth line, getting in on the action as well. Gupta, who missed most of the 2025 part of the school year, as that one gets put on. Gupta getting his first goal of the year. His brother Parker plays in the ACDC team, so does pretty well there for himself as well. As Hunter Rice will cross center ice. Both Hurricanes trying to collapse. They both get tangled up. A one-timer opportunity for Wyden is set aside by Hausman, and unable to retrieve it is Inzaldi. Icing waved off as Kyle McGuire retrieves behind the net. Diagardi couldn't clear it. Wyden comes in, near side or far side shot is saved by Hausman. So it's an offensive zone draw for Florida Southern, trying to crack into this 5-goal hole that they found themselves in. They've got their top line out there of Mullen, Izzo, and Wyden, but they cannot do anything with that puck, and it comes the other way with Miami. Matt Callahan, who has a goal tonight, gets it to the blue line with Goldman, who shoots it too high. Another shot put on, once again, saved by Fisher. And Miami will do good on the forecheck Raymond Owens leading the pack with Turlick. Kept it in by Castricani, who sends one from distance. Owens, excuse me. Now it's Goldman, now near side, Callahan. Drops it back for Owens. Almost a power play set up here for the Hurricanes. Owens tried to find Matt Callahan, but it eventually ends up out of the zone. Now it's Wyden the other way, who got that shot tipped. And that puck rings around the boards. 9:20 remains here in the second period of action. 3 quick goals for Miami in the first 8 minutes of this period, as there's a shot put on, a tricky opportunity, as Izzo almost had an opportunity to finish there. And the puck is sent to center ice. And now a 3-on-3. Callahan tried to get it through Wyden. And Izzo will take it over. He finds Wyden. Wyden fires a good shot block by Goldman, and puck is played with by Miami. But the big reason why, as Dubois comes in, good defensive play by Phillips. I mentioned this yesterday on the broadcast. So that puck goes into the netting. That Florida Southern, without Will Marshall this weekend. Will Marshall with 20-plus goals this year and last year. Obviously a big miss for the Mocs. But still defensively, the Mocs have been lacking as well. Just trying to crack into this lead, as it's quick covered by Florida Southern. Excuse me, by Miami. Miami makes a whole change. Phillips tries to play the puck. Mara plays it for the Mocs. And now it's Jusko. Back to Ryan Way. To Zidakis. Now to Ryan Way. Back to Zidakis. Behind the net. It's back to Phillips. Phillips from distance puts it on. Jusko almost had a wraparound opportunity, but whiffed on it. Now it's Ryan Way who puts the puck on. Jusko couldn't backhand it in, but a good job by Kyle McGuire to keep it in the zone. And then it's John Burkhart collecting behind the net, but Remy Kagan keeping the pressure on. Now it's Ryan Way. Good job by Miami cycling in their offensive zone. McGuire from distance puts it on. The loose change is eventually covered. And then Ryan Way takes a little bit of a shove. And it'll reset in the Hurricanes' offensive zone. And if we had advanced stats, folks, I would say Hurricanes probably spent about 75% of both games in the offensive zone. And the Mocs have really struggled in the shot department and in possession. As here they come out of the zone. Falling over is Brennenstein. Miller comes through the blue line. And eventually the puck finds the stick of Staples. Staples tries to drop it back. And McGuire able to collect the puck. 6:30 remains here in the second period of action. We score 5-0. Thank you so much for watching this rendition of the Miami Hurricanes club hockey program on the University of Miami Club Hockey Network. Whether you're just tuning in or have been here the entire time, we appreciate you watching, and feel free to drop comments in the comment section. They are always helpful as that one gets put on and saved. 6 minutes remain. Another offensive zone draw for Miami as the first line of the Hurricanes steps back out. And the first line of the Mocs steps out as well. It looks like the Mocs only have 4 guys on the ice, so to get one more guy out there. Puck won by Florida Southern and eventually taken out of the zone. A good job defending a blue line by Miami, but Wyden comes over the blue line. Wyden tries to toe drag around 3 defenders. Couldn't do so successfully. And that puck is spurred free. Goldman. Now it's Ferratino. Ferratino steps in off the stick of a Mock and out of play. False start called on Florida Southern. The Mocs will play it in their D zone. Puck off the skate of a Mock. And since Phillips will retrieve, and he makes a really good move curling back. And now Elian Astulin and company with a 3-on-2. Elian Astulin creeps in, tries to find it blocker side, but it misses the net. And Wyden now with a counterattack. Comes in, fires, shoots it in, misses the net. And that puck is sent down the length of the ice. Gets on net, so it'll be no icing. Now behind the net, it's Matt Callahan. Callahan circling. Ray Owens will play the puck now. Now back up top to Castracani. And that puck just ricochets off a body and ends up out of play again. And both these teams kind of slowing down a little bit here. It seems like the wear and tear of the first and second game kind of taking effect now is kind of settled things back down. But Miami's definitely satisfied with this 5-goal lead. Honestly, at this point, they're just hoping to get out of here with no injuries. Both teams, no injuries. And then it's on to, obviously, the next game for Miami's senior night. Right here back at Miami Ice Arena against Lynn University. Sure to be a good matchup. Both those two teams have you could almost say a rivalry. It's almost all South Florida teams have a little bit of a rivalry. As puck is sent out. The one big rivalry is always FAU and Lynn. Now those are always great hockey matches to watch. That's a hard check. on Ray Owens by Miller. And Turlick comes up, wheels around the near side. Finds Callahan waiting, scores! That was a beautiful goal, a beautiful shot, and a beautiful job by the Hurricanes on offense again. It's now 6-0 Hurricanes. It's Matt Callahan's third of the series, second of the afternoon, his 8th of the year. The junior forward definitely having a good weekend. And he will definitely be holding his head high as Ryan Wade whistles that one wide. Puck goes into the bench of Miami. And no change as the official calls it out. Pretty quiet in here so you can actually hear the official. So the far side circle, it's an offensive zone draw for Miami. And that puck finds its way out of the zone. Now here comes Florida Southern. Mullen with Wyden, and they can't connect on that pass. Mullen tries to collect it, but Goldman beats him to the puck and gets it out of harm's way. Goldman over to Way. Way fires just over the shoulder of Fisher. And hand pass is the call as the whistle blows. So Miami will make a change. Florida Southern will keep those guys on the ice as it's a face-off right outside the blue line. Staples and Izzo will meet. Puck is won back by Florida Southern. And Remy Kagan will play it. And here comes Izzo behind the net. As Izzo battles through a couple Hurricanes and eventually pickpocketed the puck, but coming back up is Rice. Rice wheels on the far side. Tries to find White in the slot, but it's misfired. Izzo keeps it alive. From distance, that try was once again saved by Hausman, and he hasn't been tested too much this afternoon, but when he has been, he's stood his ground, and the freshman has done a good job winning last night as well, but a cleaner game tonight for him as well. Now it's Elian Astuin who wins it back for Miami. Puck put on for Florida Southern. And here comes some offense for Florida Southern. The first substantial time as looks like it's going to be a penalty coming up here. I believe it's going to be against Florida Southern, as we're just under a minute to play in the second period. It's going to be Joseph Fencion. Heads to the box for 2 minutes. So Miami will get another chance. And a quick clear by Florida Southern. Ferrantino creeps over the zone, finds Elliott and Stuhlin. Back to Ferrantino, they couldn't connect. Now it's back to Elliott and Stuhlin. At the point is Ferrantino, back to Elliott and Stuhlin. They rotate. Elliott and Stuhlin takes a shot from the point. A backhanded try by McGuire. Under 15 seconds remaining as McGuire asking for the puck. McGuire tries to get it across. That puck sent down to Wyden. Wyden with the chance on the shorthands. And that'll do it for the second period, as Williams wanted a call towards the end. So Miami up big here after 2 periods of play. And we'll be back for the third period of action right after this, live from Miami Ice Arena. We're back here for the third period between the University of Miami Hurricanes and the Florida Southern Mocs. Their score 6-0 in favor of Miami. Looking to go 2-0 this weekend against the Moccasins after a 9-3 win last night and a comfortable lead this afternoon. Florida Southern will start on the penalty kill for 1 minute and 3 seconds due to a tripping minor. Miami, once again in their all white, green shells going right to left on your screen. Florida Southern in their red tarps, baby blue shells going left to right. I'm Connor Stein calling all the action for you. We thank you so much for tuning in to all the games this weekend. As Ferratino will get it to Zadakis. Now back to Ferratino at the top of the circle, loads up, fires. Rebound is left for Ray Owens, and it is eventually cleared out by Florida Southern. 30 seconds remain on the power play from Miami. Stuhlin tries to split the defenders. He's unsuccessful. Elena Stuhlin with a 4-goal weekend. Ray Owens trying to get one last offensive push going for Miami. Ferratino tries to go D to D, but it's turned over. Here comes Colton Wyden. Wyden, one-on-one, tries to dish it across, and he makes a save. The rebound is patted once again, and another save. They shoot, they score. Florida Southern gets on the board. It's now 6-1 off the stick of Michael Catazone. Watching here on the replay, it was a a shot that it was initially saved, and then it ended up getting back to the point, shot put on, and Hausman just wasn't ready for that shot. Ends up in the back of the net. And it's now 6-1 Miami with 18:50 remaining here in the third period. So shutout no more for Max Hausman as puck is played in the near corner. Now it's Rice who able to spring it ahead, but McGuire cuts him off. Puck ends up going the length of the ice for an icing against Miami. So it'll be an offensive zone draw for Florida Southern. So Florida Southern with a little bit of offensive life here after allowing 5 goals combined over the last 2 periods. Or 6 goals, excuse me. Rice puts a shot on, rebounds, loose change there, and it's padded and saved by Hausman. Some extracurriculars after the play. And it looks like Kyle McGuire will head to the box as well as that Florida Southern Moc. They're going to get Callum Nickerson. At least that's the motion by the official. Both minors for rough as the official calls out. So it'll be a 4-on-4 for 2 minutes of play. Izzo getting ready to take on Turlick in the offensive zone of Florida Southern. And they're going to get Wyden here as well. They're going to get Wyden. Also, head coach Gillis Richard asking for an explanation. Also curious as well of what exactly happened. But now it'll be now Florida Southern's put another guy on the ice. Okay, now I'm confused, folks. I thought it was going to be a 4-on-3 with Colton Wyden going to the box. As Miami would have it, but then Mullen steps on the ice for Florida Southern off the bench. So we'll hopefully have an answer for you shortly on what exactly the outcome of this is. And it looks like they're just going to clear. They're trying to. Scores table still trying to figure out exactly what it is. It looks like maybe a game misconduct for Wyden. So they're going to keep him in the box for, I assume, 5 minutes. But they won't put it on the scoreboard. So there'll just be a 2-minute 4-on-4 as it originally was. I assume so. As Miami goes through neutral ice and dumps it down low. Try to sort that thing out for you guys, the viewers watching. And I'm also kind of curious on what exactly happened with Colton Wyden that up in the box. Is a try by Callahan is denied and sent the length of the ice. Corralled by Hausman. Now Turlick takes a shove from Mullen, and then Goldman able to get out of the zone. Goldman now to Turlick, who finds Callahan. And now it's Rice for the Mocs. Puck ends up around the boards, around that ice that they were fixing during the period. A tough hit on by Castricani, and Now it's going to be another penalty here coming up. And this time it's going to be on Miami. It's going to be Ricky Castricani, who took a little bit of an extra shove at Mullen after the play. It's going to be a cross check. So 48 seconds left on that 4-on-4. And now a 2-minute minor goes on the board for Ricky Castricani. So now it's going to be 4-on-3. And then it'll be about a minute and 10-second power play for Florida Southern after the 4-on-4 expires. So 4-on-3 for now. And the puck is cleared out. Raymond Owens trying to collect it, and it's eventually sent down the length of the ice. Now here comes the Mocs. Florida Southern circles. We'll find Burkhardt at the point. Now it's to Catazone. Catazone over to Burkhardt. Glove save by Hausman. But a good job setting things up on the 4-on-4 for Florida Southern. They've spent a lot of time in the Miami defensive zone after the first two periods, kind of struggling with that. But they're able to get one on the board, and then now in about 9 seconds, they'll have a 5-on-4 opportunity of their own. Mullen gets it for the Mocs. Now it's Rice. Rice, high slot over to Burkhardt. Burkhardt goes to the point. Penalty expires. Now it's back to 5-on-4. Shot put on rebound, collected by Ferratino. And Miami with a chance if they stretch it well to Stuhlin, but it was deflected. A good stick by Burkhardt. So 55-second power play now upcoming for Florida Southern. Puck goes off the glass. Played by Hausman behind the net. Puck is turned back over. Miami's defenders couldn't get a handle of it. They eventually do at the blue line with Elliot and Stuhlin. And Ferratino will retrieve it. Good job by Burkhardt to play it up along the boards. And that puck ricochets out of play by the Miami bench, so it'll be a face-off right outside the blue line. Be actually right at the center circle. So they'll reset. But really not any sustainable pressure by Florida Southern to start this power play, as Miami's done a good job defending the blue line. As they do so, once again, Kyle McGuire right off the draw throws it all the way down the ice. As Nicholson tries to get through neutral ice. He does so successfully. Williams takes a check from Remy Kagan. And the penalty expires on Castricani, the cross check. So back to 5-on-5. As Elliot Stuhlin comes through, tries to split the defender. He does so. The back pass to Ferratino is saved. In making that save is Jason Cribbs. Cribbs getting a look. They have 3 goaltenders for the Mocs. All 3 of them have gotten action, and Cribbs coming in for the third period here. As here comes Ryan Way. Ryan Way right in. A good pad save by Cribbs. Cribbs had most of the starting possession, or I should say the starting minutes last year for the goaltending for Florida Southern. As that puck is turned over. Elliot Stuhlin gets off the post and almost backs in off the back of Cribbs and kept in. As Nicholson springs it free. Nicholson takes a shot. Left side wide. But to finish my point, looks like Fisher will take a seat. Simeone also got some looks this series as well. So 3 different goaltenders in 2 games for Florida Southern. And for Miami, it's been the same. It's been Max Hausman all series long. Now it's up ahead. A good pass up to Jusko. Jusko makes a good move. Backhander score. A good move by Jack Jusko to split the defenders. And it's now 7-1 Miami. And you'll see it here. We see just the aftermath of the goal. But it's a good job by Jusko and company, that third line, to give the Hurricanes their 7th goal of the afternoon. That's not if you combine both games. It's 16 goals so far for the Hurricanes. Definitely a series they'll be happy about going in to the next one, their final series of the year against Lynn. And then who knows after that in terms of playoffs, as Ryan Way pulls on the brakes. Gets pushed off the puck by Rice. Rice trying to get it out of harm's way of the forechecking of Miami. This ferocious third line, hungry for another, as Rice turns it over. Rice loses the puck, and Jusko will pass it back to Way. Way now in cycle. Finds it to Phillips, who puts a shot on, a stick save by Cribbs. Now it's Morin who tries to find Jusko right in front, but it's denied, and here comes Florida Southern. But Miller had no help with him as Florida Southern was making a change. As Phillips will recollect it for Miami. Here comes Morin. Morin. Near side. Oh, just off the crossbar. The loose change left in front. And O'Mara will clear it out. And that moccasin loses his stick, so he can't make the advance. Puck ends up in the near corner. And now it's Brendenstein. Brendenstein able to stay onside, and Cribbs makes the save. So with 11:34 remaining here in the final frame, Miami up big 7-1. We'll see what the strategy is here. Maybe you want to get some of the younger guys, like the guys on the ice, Brendenstein and Saples, some more minutes if you're Coach Mamello. Kept in by Goldman. Goldman also another newcomer this semester as well for this Mamello coach team. A good job by Goldman trying to pitch it aside. Saples keeps it alive behind the net. He tries to center it with Gupta in front. Gupta gets tripped up. And Saples pushes O'Mara off the puck. Both of these teams look tired in the Miami offensive zone. Puck is eventually cleared out. Castricani couldn't find the puck. And Gupta will dump, and the Hurricanes will make a change. And that'll be blown dead. Icing is the call, and Florida Southern will have to get back on the ice as they were in the midst of a change. So we play on. Florida Southern able to get it out of the zone. McGuire able to connect with Turlick. Turlick forces it down low, but eventually powered off the puck. And now it's Owens behind the net. Back to Turlick in the front of the net, it was Callahan trying to get his second. Now it's Owens. Owens circles, drops back to Kagan. Under 10 to go here in the final frame. And another shot put on Callahan right off the stick of Owens. Another distance try from McGuire is denied. And collecting it and sending it in front is O'Mara. O'Mara takes a hard hit. No call, just good clean check to get him off the puck. As Kagan finds his way through. Goes off a moccasin body as Williams gets tripped up by Callahan, and the Hurricanes will touch it up. So at 9 minutes flat left to go here in the third. Miami will head back on the penalty kill. And Max Hausman will get some more looks as Hurricanes will head back on the penalty kill. Florida Southern with a chance to score another one here. Be Rice and Morin on the near side. Burkhart waits, able to get it to Mullen. Mullen now to Rice. Back to Rice at the point. Now goes D to D with Burkhart, and that goes off a body in front and will trickle out of the zone. 30 seconds gone in the man advantage for the Mocs. The puck is turned over. Jusko, who does so good on the penalty kill, waits. He's got Morin. Morin with a chance, and it goes off the stick of Burkhart, and it's a good opportunity on the penalty kill by Miami. And Jusko, who does so well on the penalty kill. He's disrupting the last Mocs power play. Excuse me. And that puck is kept in at the blue line by Castracani. Mullen trying to dig at it. Matter of fact, there's a couple trying to get through, and it eventually ends up in the moccasin way. Now here comes Rice, who pulls on the brakes. Takes a slap shot. Rebound is whisked aside and sent out. As Owens gives chase. Now it's Castracani, keeps it in the zone. And it's just really been a tough time for the Mocs as they try to get out of their own ends. Rice gets the drop back pass and shoots it near side wide. And puck is once again picked up by Izzo. Izzo catches it off. Nice stick. He finds it back and neutral ice. Now here comes Izzo trying to catch the Hurricanes as they're making a defensive pairing change. And he just goes into the far corner. Tries to battle and get the puck back. The puck gets centered. And once again, the puck is sent and missed the net. A little pass that ends up in front of the net again. And good job by Miami to force it out. And it ends up out of play into the netting. 16:20 remains here in the third period. No more players in the box for either team. Another unsuccessful power play for Florida Southern, who did a good job last night. He had a pair of power play goals, but Colton Wyden has had a tough time offensively today. Will Marshall, obviously a big miss for this team. They'll keep it in the zone here. The puck is cleared out. Florida Southern will have another series after this on the 6th and the 7th against Embry-Riddle University. They'll have one in Daytona and then one in Lakeland as well to round out their season. As that shot goes off the post. Ooh, a tricky one right past the blue paint. And Staples keeps it alive behind the net. Staples still with the puck, gets pushed off by Burkhart, and the Mocs are able to clear it ahead. But Embry-Riddle, an opponent that Florida Southern, I'm sure that'll be a good game. Both those teams gritty. They can, obviously Florida Southern will want to have a better weekend as they honor their seniors. They'll play the last couple games. It's another delayed penalty here coming up on Miami, so Cribbs will head to the bench for an extra skater. Miller gets battled off the puck. And there's now two arms in the air. I wonder if it's the same call or if they got Zdakis for that little shove after the play. We'll see what it is officially. But so it's going to be Brennan Stein. So no second penalty, but it's going to be Brendan Stein on a 2-minute minor penalty. So with another 5 to go here, Miami will go back on the penalty kill and a chance for Florida Southern to tack another one on. As a false start called. Puck rang around the boards. Phillips will collect it. And Owens now on the penalty kill. It's a 2-on-1. Jusko fires back to Owens, who couldn't finish. And it's back with the Mocs. And that pass is misfired. And who else but Jack Jusko? Jusko tried to find Owens, but he missed him. Now Wyden will go with Rice. Rice dumps it back for Wyden. Wyden tries to split the two Miami power play killers, but he ends up finding it. Wyden shoots it. Rebound left in front. Eventually covered up by Hausman. 51 seconds remain on the man advantage for Florida Southern. That shot rings out. And here comes Eliana Stuhlin. Creeps in. Gets tangled up. Both teams make changes. Just 3 seconds remaining on the minor to Brennan Stein. Back to 5-on-5. Oh, a nifty shot from Dubois right in. A good save by Hausman. Good pad save by Hausman, and Miami's able to come out of the zone. Callahan pulls on the brakes. To Ryan Way. Now to Kagan. Puck kept in the zone by Kagan. Over to Turlick, who sends it wide. Ooh, Kane's trying to get one in front with Turlick and Roy, but it's eventually sent out the ice. Sent on the ice. Under 2 minutes to go here in the final frame. And Miami looks like they'll be coming away with 2 wins in big fashion this weekend in Kendall, as they'll head back to Kendall next week for senior night, as that pass is sent away from Izzo. But it's going to be a great night here at Kendall. We'll have some pregame festivities before. We'll have them on the live as well. Maybe have some interviews as well with some of the senior players that are wearing doing their last game as a Hurricane. So be sure to tune into that, Hurricanes fans, if you are interested. And we'll have an offensive zone draw. Then, as I mentioned, Florida Southern also playing Embry-Riddle in the last weekend. So last weekend of regular season hockey for the College Hockey South Conference. Brennan Stein comes in. Puts the puck on, rebound, they score. Miami tacks another one on. And it's now 8-1 with 37 seconds remaining. Wyden coming across, gets a shot on for the Mocs. And one last offensive attempt for Miami. As the clock ticks down here in Kendall, Miami, big winners once again, 7-goal lead, 8-1 your final score. A good weekend for Miami as they combined for 17 goals over 2 games. And they walk away winners here at Miami Ice Arena. Well, that'll do it for us. We say so long. Thank you so much for watching another rendition of the Miami Hurricanes club hockey team. We say so long from Kendall Ice Arena.